could have been so bad. And oh, so grateful that nobody got hurt. The boat was fine. It was the boom almost wanted to go through the forward hatch, and we just happened to have the hatch open at that point, so it didn't break the glass or anything. Just a million things could have been so much worse. Hello and welcome. I'm Tim and this is SV Paquita. Come along as I stumble through trying to make a transition from being a lifelong professional mariner to switching over to the recreational side, learning how to sail, and hopefully one day getting ready to sail around the world. Right now, we're in the Caribbean, getting ready to come back to New England pretty soon, so strap in, come aboard, and hope you like what we have to show you here. Thanks so much for watching. So it's Friday the 15th, and as of 6:30 this morning, we had 720 miles down, 218 miles to go. We made 165 miles yesterday, but we've been under power since 11:30 yesterday. So if everything goes right, this should put us into Fort Lauderdale around 1500, which is, I think 1430 is low tide, so if we get there on a rising tide, it might be good, because apparently there's not a lot of water in the anchorage that we're looking for, so hopefully there'll be room. Anyway, so yeah, yesterday was a big thing. Unfortunately, we didn't have the cameras rolling. That was something that we were all saying. We're like, oh man, we should have videotaped that. But we had the pole out. We were sailing wing and wing with a pole on the port side for the head sail, the whisker pole, and we had the mainsail on the starboard side with a preventer. And for those that don't know, a preventer is a line that keeps the boom from getting, if it gets backwinded, it doesn't go flying across to the other side of the boat. Anyway, unfortunately, you know, everything is obvious after the fact. I had what I thought was a pretty substantial block that I was using, a pulley on the boom that I ran my preventer line through. Well, we decided right before we got to the man-o-war channel that we would take in the head sail, because we had to set up when we were going to jibe the head sail over and have everything on the starboard side of the boat. So in doing that, we have to, Runa and I were out on deck, and we had the whisker pole that we had to contend with, and we got all that in and everything all set. And as we were coming back, we realized there was a huge, well, I shouldn't say that, it wasn't as we were coming back. We decided we were doing this because we saw behind us, sneaking up on us, was a great big thunderstorm coming with all kinds of rain and wind and everything. So by the time we got done with that, we came back and we were going to start shortening the mainsail, because we knew that we had like about 20 knots of wind, and we knew a lot of wind was coming, you know, or we suspected that a lot of wind was coming. Anyway, right about then, I think the squall hit us, backwinded the mainsail, and the block broke. In fact, I can show you the block here. Like I say, it's embarrassing because it looks so wimpy now that it's broken, and all of you are gonna say, oh, you should have known better. Yeah, well, like, hopefully I do now, but it's easier to say from the comfort of an armchair how stupid the mistakes are that we make. But this is the block, and this little piece of tin right there was supposed to go down on there, and it was, so now looking at it in hindsight, I don't know what I was thinking. There's no way the pressure of a boom would ever be held on by that little teeny thing, and in fact it didn't, and it broke. And when it broke, the boom went from far over on the starboard side crashing over to the port side, because there was no more preventer holding it, stopping it from going there. when it did stall out, luckily, as Runa said, luckily the main sheet and the traveler stalled it out before it made contact with the shrouds on the port side. So I mean that could have effectively wiped out the whole rig, but it didn't do that. It came over, and it may have broke then. There's a little bit of debate on the boat whether, because it actually moved twice. When it came over, it went bang. And so our first thing was to make sure everyone was all right, because it sounded like a big bomb went off when it happened. The boom that went boom. Anyway, everyone was all right, and in the process, the wind shifted around again, where it came back to, it had shifted over to backwind it, but then it came back to where it normally was, and it tried to blow it back to the starboard side, and in doing that, the boom where it connects to the mast, it's called a gooseneck, you could see that had broken because the mast then dropped down. Now we have something called a topping lift on the back of the boom, and we have a hard vang. So the vang is the thing that sticks up and can keep the boom from coming all the way down, but you also has some stretch so that you could actually pull the boom down when the sail twists up, it wants to lift the boom up. Anyway, between those forces, and like I say, we're I don't want to say we're at odds, but everyone has their own different theory. I'm thinking that rigid boom thing may have helped us in the long run, but in the short run, it made the boom twist a little bit. And in that twisting motion, it broke the weakest link, which would happen to be the gooseneck. So let me take you out on deck and show you what happened. Well, let me finish and tell you. After that happened, immediately fired up the engine, rounded up into the wind, and now, bear in mind, it's blowing 30, 35 now, and pouring rain, like crazy. It's like it's like the end of the world. And we've got this massive boom up there, and I'm just waiting for it to come through the Dodger and the Bimini and the solar panels and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, we get it rounded up, and Runa and Chris are out there, and Rebecca is handing them tools, and we were able to stabilize it and get it settled down. We put a cushion underneath it so it wouldn't, if it made contact with the deck, it wouldn't hurt the fiberglass, and spun the boat around back, so we were now running with it, and we were only like a mile off of the entrance to the man-of-war channel, and I knew that going from like 7,500 feet up to like 20 or 30 feet, a lot of that ocean swell that was really messing with us would be dissipated. So we stabilized it on deck, even though it wasn't down on deck, it was at more like at probably a 20-degree angle, maybe a 15-degree angle, but we stabilized it, went through the man-of-war passage. When it got calmer, which it did on the other side, then we were able to set up our two halyards, one on the front of the mast, one on the back, and everybody lifted it up and slid it forward so that it wouldn't contact the Bimini or the Dodger. And we got it secured to the deck. We had to remove the boom vang in doing that. And let me take you out on deck and show you what we're looking at. First, you can look at Chris. How you doing, Chris? Was it exciting?
Very exciting.
Was this what you paid for?
Yes.
All right. So there's the boom right there. As you can see, we have it lashed to the deck. Now this is the back of the boom, and this right here, I gotta hold on, but this is the topping lift. And that was the thing that probably saved us in the end from having it fall down onto the boat. So we were very lucky. We were lucky all the way around. I mean, so many things could have gone wrong, and I don't know, there by the grace of God we go, I guess. But anyway, you can see how massive this boom is, and it's very, very heavy. Sorry for the camera work here, but I'm trying to hold on so I don't go overboard and have another catastrophe. But let me bring you up here and show you. This here is the part of the gooseneck, and this is the cast aluminum piece right here. This goes to this bolt, and then you can see where there's another bolt that goes through here that goes onto the boom. And I'm thinking that the boom thing, which is this thing right here, connects into here. We just have this line here just to keep it out of the way. And that goes up to the boom like this. When this broke, it came down, or when the boom snapped over, it might have put a twisting action on this because of the, almost like a cantilever. I don't know if that makes sense. But that just doesn't really matter how it happened. It did happen, and that's all that mattered. Funny, I'm looking at this, and it seems like there's a pit in here, almost like a bad cast. But I assure you, this isn't the fault of the cast. This is definitely the fault of me putting a really bad preventer up there, you know, with that block. But anyway, so this piece goes to the other piece. I'm going to show you the other end of it. The good news is that if I can source this piece, if I can get this piece, I was thinking I would need a rigger to re-rig all this and put it up there. But we can actually, if I can get this piece somewhere, I'll be able to put this up here with a couple friends, you know, with the halyards. We can get this so we can get back up and we're good to go. But if you look back here, beautiful sun coming up, but you can see that's those two aft stanchions back there. The boom just misses those. So that boom would have come crashing down through everything here if it wasn't for the topping lift. They say there by the grace of God we go, you know, so lucky. Anyway, this is this here over here. So now let me bring you up to the front and show you. And we have a rope tied onto here just because we need to secure it on deck. But I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is the piece where that other bolt goes through. So I'm thinking, if I get lucky and I'm able to find this piece, a new one, I can replace, you know, undo this bolt and undo the bolt on the mast, put the new piece in, and we're good to go. The only other exception to that, the only thing that we've found that isn't right is the boom thing. You can see an ear of it broke off over there, and these aren't right. These are, and I think that to replace the ears probably costs more than it costs just to buy a new boom bang. So I'll probably just buy a new boom bang for that. And I still have the soft boom bang back in Rhode Island. So if I wanted to go back to a soft one instead of a rigid boom bang, I could do that too. So it's not the end of the world, but all in all, it could have been so bad. And oh, so grateful that nobody got hurt. The boat is fine. It was the boom almost wanted to go through the forward hatch, and we just happened to have the hatch open at that point, so it didn't break the glass or anything. It's a million things could have been so much worse. Everything worked out. Real proud of the you know, Runa's amazing, and I mean everybody's amazing, but Runa just jumped out there on deck. I just was trying to hold, because remember when this was happening, it's pouring rain, and I mean like crazy rain. The wind is blowing so hard, it's blowing the tops off the waves. This is all when this is all going down. So it was crazy, crazy, crazy. Runa jumps out there and he's stabilizing this thing so that we don't have a 350-pound boom just floating around, banging into everything, just destroying the boat. He gets out there and does this and does that. Chris gets out there with them. They both had their harnesses on. We're strapped in. I'm trying to hold the boat into the wind. Rebecca's passing them tools because they couldn't just put it right down on deck. We had to unscrew the boom bang. We had to rig up halyards so that it would not just be resting on the topping lift. And all while I'm trying to keep the bow into the waves, and the waves are crashing over the bow because, like I say, it was this freak little thunderstorm or squall. Didn't Captain Ron say, "Squalls, they come on you fast and they leave you fast"? Well, that one didn't leave us fast enough. Anyway, that was the big excitement yesterday. So I hope you can hear me over the wind here. I'm trying to keep the camera in the shade of the mast here. Yeah, so unfortunately I didn't get that on video, which I say unfortunately is probably just as well. Would have made for some great video, but the good news is, more important than the video, everyone stayed safe, and everyone stayed calm. Nobody freaked out. There's no yelling or screaming. Everyone was really cool. I was really happy. Never heard one person say, I don't know what to do. Everyone just seemed to know what to do in that situation. It worked really well. But I didn't get it on film. And then after that, after we got everything secured, we all took a big breath and kind of made a plan from then on. You know, what are we going to do? Do we have enough fuel? And Lord knows we've got plenty of fuel. We've got probably 600, 700 miles worth of fuel to go and only a couple hundred miles to go. So the fuel is going to be fine, even if we have to. And now we can just go. Originally, I thought we would just sail the rest of the way on the head sail. But we have some problems with that, and that's that there isn't really enough wind because of the rolling action. We need it to be about 18 knots or so to hold the head sail full. You know, the head sail will fill up with air, but then with wind. But then when the boat rolls, it flaps and puts a big shock load on. Lord knows we've had enough shock loads for this trip already. So it's been difficult. The good news is, in less than an hour, we're going to turn a little bit to starboard, and that will give us a little bit of angle. And I think that angle is going to help us out so that we'll be able to hold the head sail up. And if the head sail, I don't think we have enough wind to continue the speed that we're making, but if anything, it will help us to add a little bit of speed. Like I say, I don't know that we'll be able to not go, because we're really trying to get into Fort Lauderdale by Saturday. We want to get in before Saturday night, and right now they have us getting in at just after low water, so that it'll be a rising tide. But anyway, that's the excitement. And I woke up this morning. Oh, and like I say, when all this happened, I figured we're gonna need a rigger. This is gonna be a big deal. The boat's out of commission for a long time. And I started thinking about it. I'm going to be in Fort Lauderdale for a while. If you're going to get work done, there's probably no better place on the planet or more expensive than Fort Lauderdale. Having said that, the expense is bad, but being out of commission is worse. You know, you have a boat to use. You don't have a boat to not use. So I'm all excited. We're going to be in Fort Lauderdale. There's a real good chance I can get this. If I can't do it myself, we can use a rigger. I might get it all set and have a rigger come and inspect everything for me anyway, because they know more than I do, that's for sure. But the big thing is to get back online. And I woke up this morning, realized, you know, I'm in the right place, and there's really one part I need. Like I say, the boom vang, I'm not very concerned about that. I think we can pick that up anywhere. But the part for the Charleston spar, that part of the gooseneck, I can't be the only one that's ever broken this, and I can't be the only one that's ever had an unintentional jibe. I'm sure this is broken before, and I'm sure that, well, hopefully I'll be able to locate one. If I can source one, all the problems are going to go away. So that's going to be great. Woke up this morning feeling very good. Especially since that I'm confident now. I have a plan that even if it was harder to source the parts than I wanted, I feel more confident that even if I had to wait for it, this is something I don't have to wait for the parts and wait for a rigger. This is something that if I had the part in my hand, we could do this right now. So, and as Runa said, geez, if you find one, maybe you buy two. So I think Runa thinks I'm going to do this again. Hopefully he's wrong. But anyway, that's where we're at. We're still on the Bahama Bank. You can see we're in about 20 feet of water right here. We had a dolphin come visit me and Chris this morning. We were up on the bow. Chris got some video. Maybe I'll throw it in here somewhere when he passes it to me when we get service again. But it's shaping up to be another beautiful day. And, you know, we live to sail another day. So luckily, old Paquita held through, even though I put Paquita in a bad spot, putting that preventer up with a stupid block that was really, really stupid on my part. But as my friend Rusty Mallory says, he says, well, Tim, the odds of you doing that twice are very minimal, so you've got it out of the way. Anyway, that's it for now. Talk to you more later. Well, I really hope you liked that video. Next time the beatings continue. we run into another storm right at the end of our trip. And then we get into Fort Lauderdale. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe, and I'll see you on the one.